Okay, let's see if this will work. I know every time I post a video and it's like transparent on the thing, but then when I do the video, it doesn't show. Not that you need to see this ugly mug, but anyways, on a serious note, it is a very serious topic and it's very painful and it's very hurtful. I'm going to give you an honest therapist perspective, my perspective as a therapist, I should say. Not all therapists maybe would think the same or have the same opinion. But it is something that needs to be talked about, and I can talk about it on a TikTok Live. But let me just tell you this. Anytime that you've been involved in any kind of relationship that's abusive in nature, number one, I mean, yeah, you do want to make sure that it has been abusive in nature. And I think that's where the debate comes from is, was the nature of the relationship abusive or not? Now, if the child views it as being abusive and they have evidence to support the idea that it's been psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically abusive, sexually abusive, then I think that person has every right to cut off the relationship with their parents. Especially if their parents has, created no safe route for the child to come back into a healthy relationship with the parents. And that seems obvious, and I think that it should be obvious. It should be obvious that if you don't feel safe around people, and sometimes even if they have tried, but you still feel like the damage has been done, then I get it. Move on and it's okay. Try not to harbor a lot of guilt when it comes to moving on in certain relationships, because there's some relationships that you do need to cut off. And I think it's appropriate in a lot of ways. You might get shamed by other people, and there might be family members that shame you for moving on in such relationships, but you are you and you get to decide what you want to do. And my opinion is that you do what you want to do that's the healthiest thing for you. Now, other people would say, they've cut me off as a parent way too quickly, and I don't know, you have to evaluate what damage was done. If you can honestly say as a parent that you haven't caused that much damage to your child, don't worry about it then. Like, yeah, they might choose to not be in a relationship with you, but your child might choose that anyways. They may just not like you and move on. I know that sounds like that's crazy. And I have kids, I hope they never do that. And, but they might. And so I have to understand that no matter how good of a parent I think I am, sometimes, everybody just has their ability to choose what they want to choose. And I have to evaluate at that point, has there been anything that I've done that's really hurt my kids? And then what have I done to try to make it better, make it right? Have I done anything to try to rectify the situation? And I have to own up to that as much as I can as a parent. And honestly, as a parent, what I would do is, depending on the damage that was done, I would go to my kids and I would be remorseful. I would be sorry. I would be tearful. But I wouldn't let it go years. I wouldn't let it go decades before I would try to rectify that type of relationship with my child. It's the parents who let it go for years and years and even decades. And then they show up and they're like, hey, we're besties, right? And you're like, no, we're not. We haven't been for a long time, and you've hurt me. And then the parents are like, whoa, what's going on here? Those are the parents I don't feel bad for. I don't have any empathy or sympathy for you because you weren't able to recognize it. And that's, kind of a toxic, you didn't work on yourself at that point. Anyways, so much to it. This video is already 4 minutes long. I could talk about this topic for hours. And I do talk about it for hours with my clients. So anyways, I'll leave it at that. Comment. Let me know your thoughts and then I'll rebuttal or whatever.